Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Any public comment at this time?
It's not public yet. Go ahead.
Be sure and turn that mic on, please.
Bring it up close to you so I can hear.
Cooper Munson, Nevada Department of Wildlife. I'm the Western Region Game Division Supervisor.
Can you bring it up a little closer?
Western Region Game Division Supervisor, here to answer any questions regarding any of the Churchill County stuff. Jason Salisbury retired in January of this year, so we've been trying to rehire that position, and I'm kind of trying to fill in for him for now.
Okay, thank you. Verification of posting of the agenda?
Tara Adams for the record. The agenda was posted on the 30th day of April 2026 between the hours of 12 and 5 p.m. at all the locations listed on the agenda in accordance with statutes.
Thanks, Tara. Consideration and possible action approval of minutes of the meeting held on March 11th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes that were posted.
I'll second.
Any comments? We have a first and second motion to accept the minutes of the meeting held on March 11th, 2026. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, next item, consideration possible action, Commission Policy 24, hunting opportunities among weapons and hunter groups, first reading.
Okay, let me find it here.
I don't think there's anything with that. It just says, does this action require a business impact statement? No. Recommend board action. Notion to approve Commission Policy 24, hunting opportunities. The commission will have their first reading and may take action to revise the policy and move to a second reading. There's nothing else attached to the notice. I guess I have a motion that we take no action.
Yeah. I gotta try.
Is there anything
I
there,
gotta
Jim?
try to find it again. There. I think I'm on it now. I was trying to find
Oh,
it.
there is some stuff here.
It appears like the only additional is dealing with the junior tag limitations. And then under, let's see.
I don't see anything that's changed there at all.
Do you have an explanation of these?
Yeah, Cooper Munson for the record. I'll highlight some of the changes that are in policy 24. As you said, limitations on junior tags in the main draw. That would be one junior tag, so either a buck tag, buck deer tag, or a horn shorter than ears tag. Due to us having leftover available primitive weapon tags for juniors last year, that would kind of shift some of those juniors that drew multiple tags to where there would be more opportunity for more juniors. Another portion of that would be the percentage that the commission decided on last year, being 25% of those horns shorter than tags going to adults or the general draw, and 75% going to juniors. This would suggest that 50% would go to junior and 50% into the general draw. One other highlight is giving the department the ability to manage for a post-hunt buck-to-doe ratio between 30 and 40 bucks, rather than on our general hunts targeting a post-hunt buck ratio of 30 bucks per 100 does. So that allows us to, in units that are running either a very high buck ratio, to slowly stair-step that down, so we don't have to issue an extraordinary amount of tags to try and take one big bite out of it, so we can kind of get down to that manageable buck ratio a little bit easier. And those are pretty much the highlights in here.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Commission Policy Number 24 as submitted.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? There being none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Motion passed. Next item, consideration possible action, Commission Policy 1, General Guidelines for Commission, second reading.
I thought there was a term limit on that commission, but there must not be. It says, in blue anyway, that there'd be no term limits. It's not in red, so I'm not sure. That must be the addition.
Right, that's what it says.
Yeah, it looks like they also took out where commission was entitled to receive compensation and travel expenses and changed it to receive daily salary while performing official duties for the commission. I don't see it as a bad thing.
It's basically a housekeeping policy that I'm sure it's because of some problems or it needs clarification. So I'd make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? There being none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, Commission Policy 4, petition process and adoption of regulations. Second reading.
This is the same as the last one. Looks like a lot of cleanup. I'll make a motion to approve Commission Policy 4.
Jim, do we have a second? Are you still looking?
Yeah, I'll second.
Any public comment? There being none, We have a first and second motion to approve Commission Policy 4. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Guys, are you going to vote on it or not?
Sorry, aye.
Jim?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Approved. I'm sorry.
Thank you. You're deep in, read whatever you're reading. Consideration possible action, Commission Policy 51, Wayne E. Kirsch, Nevada Wildlife Conservation Award. Second reading.
There's so little change in there. The only thing I see is there aren't going to be sending certificates of appreciation. I don't see anything else highlighted.
Neither.
So with that,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
I think the last meeting we had no problem with.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve policy 51 as submitted.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? We have a motion to accept Commission Policy 51. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, final draft of the fiscal year 2027 predation management plan.
This is a predator? No.
Yeah, predation.
Okay, yeah. Well, this will be probably the first of 5 meetings that this will be on the agenda.
Probably.
This is for next year. Looking over the list of projects and the budget, I don't see anything that really jumps out as a change from what they've been doing the last couple of years since they kind of changed directions on making sure that it was a fit within the new regulation that deals with predator management. So at least at this time, I don't have any problem with what has been sent as a draft.
Do we have to do any motion on this? I didn't see.
Pardon me?
I don't know if we do or not on that one.
I think you would only have to approve something or make a motion if you're to want to make recommendations to edit something or
Oh,
add
okay.
something.
We can say no action if you guys want on this one. It'll come up again.
That's what I'd recommend.
Okay. Thank you. Consideration and possible action, petition filed by Mr. Henry Evans requesting the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners consider the removal of the compound bow let-off limit from NAC 503.144.
I wish we had some archers here from the public. I myself, why has there ever been a restriction on a let-off? I guess it's getting to be not as primitive as like some people would like to have it. I assume the percentage of shoot off or poundage
Right.
or draw pull improves your accuracy if you can still hold it.
Yeah, you still need to draw through the initial pull weight.
Archery success is so low
Right.
in comparison.
I notice he references in here also, there's only 4 other western states that have caps.
Yeah.
It looks like the rest of them have kind of removed them. I'll make a motion to accept this petition as written.
I'll second the motion to accept the petition.
Any further discussion? There being none, we have first and second motion to accept the petition considering removal of compound bowl let-off limit. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, consideration of possible action, Commission General Regulation 529, Disability Permit Program revisions. I think we've looked at this one, just one of the last meetings we had.
It's the third reading of
Yeah.
to do with disability.
Yeah, and there's very few changes. Let's see what it is.
Let's see, that's B. 527. I went by.
Looks like they changed the validation for 5 years.
Yeah,
That's
I think I rem-
significant. That's good.
I think I remember a petition about this several meetings back.
And they actually define who are the permitted doctors that can issue certain statements of disability.
I'll make a motion to approve. Where are we at? The regulation 529, is that where we're at? Yeah, 529, disability permit revision as written.
I have a second, Jim?
Yeah, I'll second.
Any further comment? We have a motion to accept Commission General Regulation 529. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration and possible action, Commission General Regulation 527, Wildlife Salvage Permit.
Is there any, we go to 529 on the screen. There it is, 12B. Yeah. Okay.
Scroll down.
There, no, there it is.
Right there.
Okay.
Click the arrow, it'll give you those too, but that'll just get you to the page that we're starting on.
Where did
It should be on 527 now.
527, yeah.
Now, this,
It's for the purpose of administrating wildlife salvage permits.
this is basically the result of this board submitting
Yep.
to
Right.
the counties. It went to our state senator, and she got it through. This is only the first reading.
Right. And it looked pretty good to me. It's pretty comprehensive from what I read.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they have a lot of stuff tied down as far as like you can only have this many or it needs to be a certain license. I feel like they did a really good job with this. I'd make the motion to accept Commission General Regulation 527 as written.
It's quite a regulation when it was just dealing with picking up a dead deer up the highway.
But at least we got something through.
Well,
That's
yeah.
good.
There was one on Sheckler and Lima the other night that was still steaming. It was so fresh.
Oh, boy.
Highway Department the next day had hauled.
Jim, will you make a second, please?
I'll make a motion, or did you?
Please,
make a
Andrew
motion.
already
I
made the
did.
motion.
I'll second, yes.
Any further public comment? There being none, call for the vote. Commission General Regulation 527. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, Commission General Regulation 517, automatic range finding scopes. And we discussed this, I believe, in our last
Yeah.
meeting, didn't we?
Yeah.
In looking at the minutes from the commission meeting, that's a pretty controversial
Oh, is it?
regulation. Well, it's another one is ethic.
How does that work? Is that something that becomes obvious if a game warden stops you and you have that on your,
I mean, it's the certain model
Your-
of scopes. For example, SIG has a whole BDX series that the scope attaches to your rangefinder, and when you rangefind an animal or anything, it will put a holdover dot inside your scope. If anything, you could argue that it's more ethical. Because if you're, say, have a 0 point for 100 yards and a holdover point for 200, and this animal's at 225, you may miss it. You may injure it. It may run off and die somewhere that you never find it. Whereas if you have a holdover point based off of your shooting data, I would almost argue that it's more ethical to have a scope that can give you an exact holdover point. And the only language that they recommend right now is an electronic site that has been designated to receive data from any internal or external source that aids in the automatic adjustment of the sight reticle or aiming point. I feel like that's way too vague for us to make a recommendation on yay or nay.
I can't stay up with the technology, but I think at the last meeting, Jason was talking about where you can, the rangefinder would automatically adjust your scope.
So it doesn't automatically adjust the crosshairs of the scope. The ones that I'm familiar with, it'll literally just project like a dot for where your holdover would be. So again, if you have a scope that say only has 2 holdover lines or 2 bullet drop compensation lines, and it's somewhere in between those, as opposed to guessing, should it be exactly halfway between this number and that number, it's going to give you an exact based off the dope charts that are loaded into said equipment. Again, I would argue that it's more ethical to have an exact holdover point and lessen the possibility of wounding the animal and it walking away.
I don't know, I wish the commission would stay out of some of this ethics. Because what's ethical to you may not be to me, and there's not really it's whoever makes the biggest, loudest noise.
So I would make a motion that we oppose.
Oppose, okay?
Which one are we on? Sorry.
And it's submitted.
Aye.
Aye. Regulation 517.
Okay.
No, second.
Any further public comment? There being none, we have a motion to oppose Commission General Regulation 520, no, it's wrong one, 517, automatic range finding scope. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next item, consideration and possible action, Commission Regulation 26-11 regarding big game quotas for 2026-2027 season.
You'll probably want to come up and testify on, or explain some of those.
Would you like to talk about some of the numbers and the drastic changes?
Okay.
Yeah, again, Cooper Munson for the record. I would be, we cover a lot of species across the state. I would prefer to answer questions specifically that you guys have. I'll give a brief rundown with some of the bigger changes that you might see in the quota table as discussed in Policy 24. We are operating on the adjustable post-hunt buck ratio of 30 to 40, so that might fluctuate some of those larger increases or decreases in mule deer tags. Again, on the horns shorter than ears, also big increases or decreases in junior or adult horn shorter than ear tags. As for elk, the adaptive management process has given us, the department, the ability to increase or decrease certain elk herds by up to 10% per year for a few years, and that will be shown in some of the, one that stands out is like the 062 cow elk quota. It's significantly increasing to essentially reduce that population, although we do understand that herd does not reside in that portion of that hunt unit all times during the hunting season. Beyond that, I would prefer just to ask or try to answer any specific questions you might have.
I think the biggest change is the 076, 7779 hunts were like the most drastic reduction, and that's on the antlerless elk. For example, for the early hunt went from 135 to 10, and for the late hunt went from 135 to 5.
Yeah, speaking outside of my region,
For sure.
most of that is as a result of last year we tried to reduce that herd, and now this year we're trying to overcome that reduction that we were guided on previously. And so now that we have the ability to kind of essentially bring that herd back up, that is effectively zeroing female harvest, so we can actually have some measurable increase in a herd.
I think it's interesting that they increased the moose by 1 tag. How was the success on that? Were those tags filled this last year?
Yeah, again, the moose hunt for the second year, 100% success. 2 bulls were harvested in the first year, 2 last year. All 4 moose have been killed relatively early on in the season. Ongoing efforts to monitor moose distribution across the eastern side of the state, the northeast corner. We are seeing more bulls in more places, as well as numbers that are looking pretty substantial. So,
Thank you.
I'll make the motion to approve Commission Regulation 2611 as written.
Jim, you want to do a second, or do you have some other comments and concerns?
The only question I had was to do with the elk up there in that Wells unit, and I have to apologize. 2 days ago, I had ear surgery, and I can't wear my hearing aids for another couple days. So I did not get an explanation, or I didn't understand it, and that's me. It just seemed like a tremendous. I did look at success data in those areas, even though we couldn't find our elk ourselves there at the end. They still ended up with a 40% harvest, I think, on the lake,
Yeah.
which I would have guessed about 10 from what we ran into up there. But
Well, he just mentioned how last year they were able to increase the tags to try and reduce that population. It may have reduced too much. So this year they're effectively trying to minimize or eliminate the cow harvest to help re-increase that population, as if maybe it took too big of a dip. Is that paraphrasing accurately?
yeah, I assume that was, it just seemed so extreme looking at all the other units in the state. I mean, that's, what it comes out probably less than 10% of the tags that we've had in
Agreed.
the past there. That's, but other than that, I have no problem with the quotas. I see looks like some of the species we always kind of get an explanation on our local sheep here, and I see there's one less in 181 West, but the rest of the quotas are the same.
Right.
It's still some of the hardest to draw.
So I will ask that. I know Salisbury was usually pretty good at like updating on the sheep populations in and around Churchill County. Is all the pneumonia herd eradicated so far? Do we still have some kicking around?
Yeah, so currently in the management area 18 sheep herds, last year we were looking at augmenting the 182 sheep herd of the Stillwaters. We went in there and did some pre-sampling for disease. There was indicators that disease is still in there. It's not as aggressive at this point, which is also likely to be resulting in that really stagnant population level, lower lamb recruitment than we would really like to see. As far as the 183 unit adjacent to that, we are seeing pretty good herd health in there. 184 is doing really well. Harvest out of there was phenomenal this year. And then moving into 181, that is probably our unknown right now, where everything is indicating there is ongoing disease, but we haven't had pre-sampling efforts in there to scientifically say that. You know, a lot of our hunter harvest was saying, you know, the hunters were telling us that it was harder to find rams. They were distributed throughout the range, but just lower densities, harder to come across. So. And I will add that we do have an active mycoplasma going on in units 205, 207, which is somewhat connected at the hip to 181, so it is pretty likely.
Jim, do you want to make a second motion on accepting the big game quotas?
I'll make a motion to accept the quota recommendations for all the big game species.
Jim, you're just seconding the motion. Andrew already initiated the motion.
You're making the second.
Just
You're
second.
seconding the motion.
Oh, yes. Okay, I didn't hear the first.
That's fine.
It's terrible when you're deaf.
We'll excuse you today.
Except at my house. It's kind of handy.
Yeah. Any further discussion? There being none, we have a recommendation to accept the Commission Regulation 26-12, 2026, 2611, big game quotas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Next item, Commission Regulation 2612, 2026 black bear quotas. And I thought we
Actually,
did this last time.
I think his motion covered all big game. Is that what you said?
It was for 2611, but yeah, we
Okay,
can,
okay, we can take them individually. I didn't.
we,
We did in the past, but
Yeah.
I think you,
yeah, I
it's for
don't,
everything.
I don't see any big changes in 2612 either. Make a motion to accept 2612 as proposed.
Jim, do you want to make a second?
Yes, I'll second.
We have any further discussion? We have a motion to accept Commission Regulation 2612. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration of possible action, 2027 budget request for travel to attend Nevada Department of Wildlife Commission meetings in fiscal years 2027. And guys, I had to submit this before our meeting because it was due May 1st. So I'm just catching up on the proposal, and this is what our budget looks like.
Well, they'll probably, since we have a balance, they'll probably just give us what we've had in the past.
Yeah, and it's actually, what we're using is what's on the books at the comptroller's office. And then we'll probably have to request, and does that money come from the commission, Jim? Just to pay the cabs? Is that where it comes from, do you know? Or does that come from the commission? I have no idea.
It comes from the department's a separate budget item, but. I don't-
Okay, all right. I'll have to watch that next year, because I think we're going to be out of money.
I think it's all state
Okay.
funds and not federal.
And budgeted $341.48 for mileage, $456 for per diem meals, and $386 for hotel and motel. And that was basically sending one person to go to the meeting in Gardnerville and 2 meetings in Reno. And if somebody wants to go to one of the other meetings around the state, they can do that because there's money in here to take care of that, so. Do I have a motion to accept this budget request?
I'll make that motion to accept the County Wildlife Advisory Board's proposed budget.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion to accept the 2027 budget request for travel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Consideration and possible action letter to the Department of Wildlife to consider options of allowing blood trailing dogs or thermal imaging drones to recovering wounded or dead animals that was sent to county advisory boards. Tara, do you know, have we gotten any responses back?
I have gotten no responses.
No responses? Okay,
It probably won't be taken up until this week, really.
probably,
Their county game boards
right,
probably haven't met since they received it.
okay. We'll have to put it back on the agenda for next time then, please.
Yeah.
Next item is consideration and possible action, discussion regarding a board vacancy due to Aubrey Burgess's resignation. Tara, would you like to explain to the board what you found out we had to do? I hope you did.
Yeah, so I pulled the NRS regarding cabs, and it just says regarding vacancies that within 60 days after a vacancy occurs, the Board of County Commissioners shall, if the vacant member, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. The Board of County Commissioners basically appoints someone who's a resident of the county and are hunters, trappers, or anglers, or engaged in ranching or farming in the county. So I will speak with the commissioners about that. Mr. Burgess's term is up June 30th. So if they appoint someone now, I think they just reappoint after that vacancy happens too. So I'll let you know about that.
Okay. And it would be published, I think that's what they did last time, is they published a notice in the paper or wherever they post stuff nowadays.
Yeah, I
So,
can do
and
that.
I already have one person that's called me on it that's interested in serving on the board, so
Okay.
that's good to know, so.
I also got an application. I'm not sure how that person even heard about it, but, yeah, we'll get someone in there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So we're just gonna hold it vacant until,
Yeah, I
Just
would,
to-
yeah, I
yeah,
would
yeah.
just, there's no use
otherwise you have
us,
to go through it all over
we
again.
got it, yeah, you gotta turn around and reappoint them to the board and go from there. I think that's the easiest way to do it.
Yes.
And I know when I interviewed, I think when Andrew came on and when Aubrey came on, I met with somebody, was it the planning? Andrew, do you remember who it was? It was county manager, I think, when Aubrey came on, that he and I sat and interviewed everybody and then made a selection, so.
That sounds right. I think it
So-
was county manager with me too.
So we'll just table this until next meeting then, and I'll get it out there.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Is there any further business? Any future agenda items, you could put that one back on the dogs. Any further public comment? Okay, I adjourn the meeting at 7:45.